How's everybody doing? How about them Giants? How about them Giants? How about them Giants? What we talking
How
about?
about them Giants? How about them Giants? How about them Giants?
Yo, we did it. The New York Giants did it. The New York Giants beat the Los Angeles Chargers at home for the first home victory. It feels good. It feels great. It feels fantastic. Roller coaster of emotions at the end. Red zone offense still need a little bit of help, but at the end of the day, the New York Giants have their first victory of the season. Let me get some music in the background. Hold on. Unfortunately, though, we do got the injury to Malik Neighbors. We do have the injury. That part sucks. Hold on, let me get some music in the back. I'm excited. I see everybody in here already. I got to start from the beginning. Let me know if the audio is good. Let me know if the visual is good. We're going to have us a nice little celebration. I remember all those predictions last night, everybody, too. I remember all those predictions, Giant fans. Yeah. It's a new era for sure. Shout out to New Jack City in the building. Shout out to Jackson Dart. He scared me also. He still got to learn how to slide. But we ain't even going to talk about that right now. We're going to enjoy this win. Shout out to my man Joseph Wilcox with the $2 super chat. Said, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Feels good to have a W. And it also feels good to beat the number one team in the AFC. That's what the New York Giants did today. So don't tell me it feels so much different right now. Oh, man, it feels so much different right now. Pause. Don't tell me we can't go on a run, man. Come on now. I can't. I'm going to ride this wave, man. Don't tell me what we can't do. We just beat the Chargers. Malik Neighbors went out early. And we still were able to pull this game off. We could have packed our bags. That's what we could have did. We could have packed our bags, but we didn't do that. Jackson Dart holding his hamstring. He could have packed it up too, but we didn't do that. Instead, what do? We packed those Chargers up. We packed the Chargers up. Hold on a second.
Packed up.
Had to pack up them Chargers today. Shout out to my man, a foot long, pause, with the $5 super chat. He said, I'm mad at myself. I was waiting on a what the F moment instead of enjoying the lead. Shame on me. No. A lot of people felt the same way that you did. Listen, even that last play, I'm like, I got flashbacks to the Dallas game. How much time we gonna leave these guys to come back and get a field goal? I saw the kicker warming up on the sideline. Don't be mad at yourself. I'm pretty sure everybody felt like that. There were a lot of people that were clinched up. A lot of people were clinched up in that last minute of that game for sure. Things were clinched. Absolutely. Shout out to my man Jessa with the 1999 super chat. Said, just because. Thank you for the love and support. We having a party today. Shout out to the 162 people already in the building. Make sure you hit that like button on the way in. It lets the algorithm know that we in the building. And then, you know what? The algorithm will let the Giants fans know that we in the building. Shout out to my man, Lucky BX. Lucky BX says we have a quarterback. That's a fact. What wide receiver can we pick up in case Neighbors is out for a long period? Of course, everyone is saying OBJ. I don't know, but they're going to have to make some room for somebody. We didn't get the full report. I've been following this one guy on Instagram. That's a doctor. He has his prediction of what happened. I'm hoping it's not that. I'm hoping it's not the ACL. I'm hoping it's just a minor sprain. But we saw what we saw, man, and it did not look good. I'm gonna keep hope alive though from Malik Neighbors. Shout out to my man J-Man with the $5 super chat. He says, feels good, baby. Love the heart. Nice to see for once. Yeah, we got a W, man. Shout out to everybody. I want to do a quick roll call because I got my day ones in the building. We've been holding on. We've been waiting for this all season long. We've been waiting for this. Hold on. Let me get a quick roll call for my people that's in the building, man. There's a lot of y'all in the building too, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Yeah, there's way too many people to name right now. I'm going to go through a couple of these. I'm going to throw the comments up real quick. Also, let me go ahead so you can share and see the comments on the screen as well. That way, if I don't get it, at least it's still going to be on the screen for people to see. That dark friend said, neighbors made me sick to my stomach, though. Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy, man. Like, we can't fully celebrate the W because of that neighbor's injury, but guess what? It's still a party at the end of the day. We beat the Chargers. And I know what people are going to say, well, you know, the offensive line was banged up. I don't care. They was beating people with a bad offensive line before that. They've been playing musical chairs with the offensive line. Plus, we're the New York Giants. We were 0-3. Nobody picked us to win. Nobody picked us to win, and guess what? We got that first dub. And again, that's the Chargers team, a good Chargers team that we beat. A well-coached Chargers team that we beat. Shout out to my man, Corinne Rock, in the building. He says, we took a big loss. Leak is done for the season. Now, I didn't get the full reports. It looks that way. But we didn't get that report. Shout out to my man, Johnny Lovely, in the building. Said, let's go. That's the energy that we need right now. Fighter's Destiny says, we're not going 0-17 this year. That, you know what? That just reminds me. Shout out to my man, Sneaky G. Sneaky G made a bet with an Eagles fan. Some Eagles fan told Sneaky G that the Giants wouldn't win a game this year. This year, and guess what? It took longer than I thought it was going to get. Took longer than I thought it was going to take to get that first win. But we got it. Sneaky G, go ahead and collect your money. Go ahead and collect your money. Prime Time says, go get Odell. We got to pump the brakes. It makes a lot of sense to go out there and go get Odell, but listen, pump the brakes a little bit. It makes sense, though. I wouldn't mind it. Guess who got snaps today, too, and a lot of them? Jalen Hyatt. Jalen Hyatt, I can't even talk. I'm so excited. Jalen Hyatt got some snaps today. Shout out to my man, Mark Thompson, in the building. He says, Dash, I think it's fair to say that I called that matchup. You did. You absolutely did. Shout out to my man, Mark. Well, where my people at? Luann, what's going on? Luann said, I hope neighbors okay. Listen, everybody's worried about neighbors. I understand that. We want to talk about neighbors. I understand that. It's football. We understand that. That's a big piece. Losing Malik Neighbors is a big piece. But when you find the quarterback should be able to make other people around him better if you got the right guy. And it's a huge loss right now. We got to figure out a way to move on from that. And guess what? If the injury is what it is, what we fear it to be, go ahead and get your knee fixed and that toe fixed at the same time, Malik. And I hate to say that, but again, I don't know what's going to happen. But right now, we're just going to enjoy this dub for right now. Michael Holmes says, Big Blue. That's a fact. Big Blue Nation in the building. Corinne Rock saying, is they saying it's ACL? I understand. Hold on. Let me get to the bottom real quick. I want to, everybody's saying ACL. Understand me. It's the clock management. Junior Players says, Big motherfucking Blue. That's a fact. That's a fact, man. Listen, man, I'm excited, man. I don't know if y'all can hear it in my voice or not. We needed this dub. Shout out to Cam Scatterbull. Shout out to even Devin Singletary did his thing, but shout out to Cam Scatterbull. Shout out to Jackson Dart, guys making a change. I will say this too. Shout out to Theo Johnson. Shout out to Daniel Bellinger with a big catch to move the sticks. Getting everybody involved. You saw Slayton get involved. I'm going to say this just really quickly. Again, I think everybody was really, really anxious when this game first started. We wanted to see what Jackson Dart looked like. And it's crazy, too, because on that first drive, the first couple of plays, when he called back Darius Slayton off the go route, when he broke to the right, I said, okay, he feels confident back there. Shout out to the offensive line for the most part for keeping a clean pocket today. So you telling me against that defense, one of the top defenses in the league, almost top 5 in every category, we were able to keep Jackson Dart protected. We were able to run the ball, consistently. We did get now the goal line was something else. Mike Kafka getting a phone call from me personally about some of those red zone plays. That third down with the quarterback, Reed. Well, I don't know what he was doing. The fourth down play should have been the third down play, and maybe would have got in there. And another thing about the red zone, I'm gonna do a little bit of complaining, then we're gonna get back to the celebration. Every time we're in the red zone, that one pass to Wan'Dale Robinson that he should have came down with. You had 5'8" Wan'Dale Robinson, 5'10" Cam Scatterbull, and I don't know who the third guy was. It might have been Slayton. You got 6'6", 6'5" tight ends In the red zone, you got to throw the alley-oop. Instead, you're throwing alley-oops to a 5'8" guy. He's not Muggsy Bogues. He's not Spud Webb. Let's cut it out. Some of those names flew over a lot of people's heads. Let's get back to these comments, though. Hold on, where we at? Lucky BX. Okay, hold on. Justin M. Shout out to Justin M with the $5 super chat. He says, blessings, all my favorite Giants creators. Remember, it was his decision. Dable. He was right. Let's effing go. Hold on. I'm getting a text message. Oh, no, that's just my ring alarm going on. Don't worry about it. Shout out to Kenya with the $5 super chat. He says, yo, Dash, get that Clipper dude back on here that was feeling himself. Let's freaking go. New Jack City. Listen, man. Listen. I don't even care about some of those people, man. Right now, this is a Giant celebration. If they want to come back in the stream and show us some respect and give us a just due, they can do that. But outside of that, I'm not looking for nobody. If you're not a Giants fan and you hanging out, cool. If you want to come in here talking trash, nah, we ain't having that today. Shout out to my man Kenya though. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm trying to get through some of these comments, man. Shout out to my man, Coach Ed, in the building. Said peace and blessings, King. And listen to him. Please show me some grace. Please show me some grace with this comment section. Last night, I pissed somebody off because I didn't get to their comments. Please show me some grace. It's live right now in the chat. I'm trying to get to as many as possible, especially not the same ones that are kind of repeating themselves. But shout out to everybody that's in the chat, man. Love and respect. Always. Shout out to my man Prophet in the building. What do you say, Prophet? He said, remember when I said we should show the mid-blitz look? We showed it today and they panicked. That's a fact. Yo, forget almost getting there. Forget almost getting there. You know who got there today? Carter. Carter had a nice breakout game for me. That play by Brian Burns, man, wrapping them up with the Spider-Man celebration had my kids going crazy. My youngest kid, his favorite character is Spider-Man. Actually, all my oldest and my youngest, their favorite character is Spider-Man. So when I said we got Spider Burns, they said, who? I said Spider Burns. They said, who? I said, look, the man over here shooting the webs after the big sack on that play. Let's go. What we doing, Giants fans? What we doing? LeVar Osborne said we should have kept the juice. We should have kept Juice Wells and Washington over Hyatt. I just don't believe him. But listen, man, this ain't the time for that. Trust me, I done threw my Hyatt hat all off the walls, man. This is not the time for that. We're gonna talk about that later. We could talk about that later. They will need to make some moves for sure. You will see somebody getting called up from the practice squad most likely, or you might see a big signing happening. Shout out to my man Dwayne Murphy in the building. What's going on, Dwayne? He said, I feel like I fought through the trenches for years with DJ and finally reached the promised land. Dwayne, remember how we felt draft night, Dwayne? Remember how we felt draft night, Dwayne? We had to suck it up, pause, and get in the car with Jackson Dart. And I'm glad we hopped in the car with Jackson Dart because we riding with Jackson Dart. That's a fact. That's a fact. Michael Madison says, hi, we'll step up. Luann. Luann said, I cried when the clock ran out, and I believe you because you did it in all caps. It's in all caps, so I believe that you did cry. Is it Kratos? Kratos says, congrats on the win. Sucks that the Commanders did. The D is kind of, yeah. Commanders lost too, didn't they? Philly won again, though. Pissed me off. It is what it is, though. Shout out to Percy Harris. Says Coughlin was at practice 3 days ago. Maybe slapped some sense into the team. Dart, Scat, and the defense did their thing. Listen, I was so happy when we stayed aggressive. That last sack by Brian Burns, that was a hell of a stunt. He came all the way around from the edge. So, and we got constant pressure with the four. The secondary stepped up for the most part. Andrew Phillips is a baller. Tyler Nubin made some big plays for all those people that was talking about Tyler Nubin. He made some plays today. Dane Belton, I don't know. I don't know about Dane Belton. And then Tay Banks was off and on today. I think he did more bad than good, but some of the good plays he had were good. He got, and who knew he can return kicks? Who knew that? I didn't know that. That was a surprise for me. I was panicking because you put a cornerback out there that's not known for his ball skills, returning kicks. I don't know, but guess what? I'm going to shut up for a while, and it is what it is. Shout out to my man Joseph Wilcox. He says, I tore my ACL in high school from a crack back block, first game, third play of the year. I came back to play my senior season. Never was the same. Safety wide out. Listen. No offense, Joseph. I know how old you are. I know how old this is. No offense. Medicine has advanced since you tore your ACL in high school. ACL used to be a season-ending injury for a lot of players. He's going to be all right. Malik Neighbors going to be all right, man. He's half mutant anyway. He should heal, hopefully. And again, everybody, Giants fans. Jackson Dart on his debut, right? When you look at the stat line, it's not going to jump off the page. But that's how you know the box score, the stat lines never tell you the story of the game. I was never nervous. I was nervous when we were on defense, but as far as the offense goes, I was never really nervous with Jackson Dart today. Once that first drive, I said, okay, he's calm. He's taking what the defense gives him. He's creating. He's doing his thing. He's looking like the Jackson Dart that we saw, not even in preseason. He looks like the Jackson Dart we saw in college. And I'm like, okay, he's doing that at the NFL level against a top defense. I have to put emphasis on that. That was one of the best defenses in the league, not in the AFC, not in the NFC, in the entire league. And we were able to move the ball on these guys at home. And we play awful at home, don't we? Lorenzo, what's going on? He just said dash. Did I miss a comment, Lorenzo? Oh, okay, I got you. My bad, Lorenzo. We're gonna leave that alone. We're gonna leave that alone. We just gonna leave. We're gonna just leave it alone. Shout out to my man Donald, says Bellinger never drops a pass. That's a fact. Isaac says Daves was souped at the end. He was. I bet you he was. Guess what? He was able to get off of the hot seat for just a second, for just a moment. Imagine that. Your butt been burning for so long. He was able to get off the hot seat just for a moment. I would be excited too if I was him. Now he has to figure out how to build on top of this. That's what it is. Shout out to my man Rob Watt, because that is a fact. He says Wandell Tort looks good to me. Yeah, he came back. Wandell is looking good. Hold on. Let me shout out to the people with the super chats, man. My man, shout out to my man Joseph Wilcox, said he hopes so. Yeah, he gonna heal, man. He'll be right. He gonna get right, man. Shout out to my man Chris Ice with the $5 super chat. He says, "Yo, Big Dash, great day for the Giants. Oh, great day for Giants fans. Start Dart. That part definitely have to stop mental penalties and capitalize in the red zone. Should be 3-1. Yeah, absolutely right. They got to clean up the red zone, man. They really got to clean up the red zone. I liked it early on, the one trick play they had, the fake pitch with the shovel pass to Theo Johnson. I like that creativity in the red zone. Where was that? That reminded me of the 2-point conversion play in 2022 versus the Titans to Saquon Barkley. We got to stay creative. I understand that's a cute play and it worked, but we still need to be able to go down the field and get physical, especially within the 5-yard line, man. There was moments in this game. Shout out to Dexter Lawrence. With the bat down, interception, return all the way to the 3-yard line. We got to get a touchdown there, though. Dexter Lawrence was dog tired, but when you saw Dexter Lawrence, when they showed you the close-up of him running, he was smiling the whole way down the field running the ball. Shout out to Dexter Lawrence. Finally got one of these games from Dexter Lawrence today when we needed it the most. It fed that defense. Andrew Phillips made plays that fed this defense. Kayvon Thibodeau, Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, these guys had a fantastic game today. I will say this, though. I don't know what it is about the right side of the defense. Whenever Marion Hampton broke off a big play, it was off the right side running the ball. We still got issues, stopping the run on the outside. We kind of clean things up on the inside, being able to stop the run on the inside, but outside we are not setting edges and taking horrible angles. But again, we're talking about a celebration. It's easy to talk about these things with a W. The New York Giants beat the Los Angeles Chargers. The 0-3 New York Giants beat the 3-0 Los Angeles Chargers. Isaac Moore says we ate a dub. That's a fact. We did eat a W. Shout out to my man Tyrone Hall with the $5 super chat. He says, I love the win, but we still have serious red zone issues. Absolutely we do. Shout out to the 320 people in the building, make sure you hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel and you are a New York Giants fans, not subscribed to the shame on you. Shame on you, but you can fix that right now by hitting that like and subscribe button right now. Let's go Giants. Let's go Giants. Shout out to the Beige Bastard. That name gets me every time. He says, then the six God is here. He says the team looked juice playing with Dart. Shout out to the Rooks and Dart for not turning the ball over on this defense. Put some respect on Tibbs' name. Also, shout out to Tibbs. And if he's in the building, we got Tibbs' cousin that usually jumps in live. If he's in the building, let me know, man. Let me know. Your cousin did a fantastic job today. The New York Giants defense. When you text him later on today, tell him that Giant fans are proud of these guys today. They are proud of these guys for sure. For sure. I can't find your name right now, but I know you're probably in here right now because with this many people in here, you're probably in here. So make sure you hit up Kayvon and let him know that Giant fans are wilding out for him right now. That's a fact. Soul Brother number 1, what's going on? He said, what up, fam? Happy Wednesday. That's a fact. Victory Sunday. Victory Sunday. John Davis said, I feel so drained. Pause. Yeah. I've been up early too because as you guys know, the missus is a Steelers fan. So I was up early in the morning with her watching the Steelers game. Highly emotional game. And then to turn around and have this game with the victory feels so much better. But I understand what you're talking about. Neko says Dable has his own QB now. That's a fact. I think it deserves some talking about, right? Let's talk about it, and I do apologize. I'm going to go all the way to where I'm caught up in the chat. If I missed your comment, I apologize. Please, just put your comment back in, or just post it back in the chat again. Luann says, Dart will light it up, or Dart will light up the Saints. Nah, I believe so. Listen, you can't tell me anything about my confidence right now after this game against that defense is at an all-time high. At an all-time high. This is what we're, and again, was our offense perfect? No. When you look at the stat line, was it fantastic? No, it wasn't. We just played competent football. We had a quarterback that did not make mistakes. We had a quarterback that was cool, calm, and collective for the most part. And we had a quarterback that said, you know what? Damn it, I'm going to do it myself. I was so mad at John Michael Schmitz for that hold or whatever that block was on that Jackson Dart run. And you know what's crazy? Jackson Dart dropped the shoulder on one person, cuts across the field, and tries to stiff arm another person. Listen, Jackson Dart, slide. Please slide. If you want to continue to make plays and drive the crowd crazy, slide, please. I understand in certain occasions you need to slide, but once you get that first down, man, get down. Get down and get out of bounds, please. Shout out to Brian. I'm not even going to try to pronounce your last name respectfully. He says, hey, Dash, I'm from Jersey. Can you say you're? Because we won. Hold on. I got one even better for you. I got one even better. Can I say you're for you? Hold on a second. You're.
Yo.
What's going on, man? What's going on, man? I'm feeling fantastic right now. Where's hold on. Johnny Lovely with the fire. Yeah, the fire. Yeah, listen, this game was fantastic for me. Hold on, let me get down to this comment section. Shout out to my man Mark Stewart, one of my favorite supporters. Mark, you was at the game, right, Mark? I know you was at the game, Mark. You let me know. I want to hear from you, Mark. Let me know. He says, salute Big Dash. Knows good win. That's a fantastic win. Shout out to my man Born for Sports that was in the building today at the game. I'm pretty sure his live is going to be fire whenever he gets back home. Maybe he does it because he has a hell of a drive back home. If I'm not mistaken, he drove all the way from Connecticut. If I'm not mistaken, I might be mistaken. But I think he drove all the way down from Connecticut. And I tell you what, that's going to be a fantastic ride on the way back for sure. For sure. JSE, the Knick fan, says, Big Dash, what's up? Why everybody talking red zone issues? We're 1-3, period. Let's go. Listen. You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. But we keep on talking about the red zone because, in all honesty, we probably could have scored 30 points on the Chargers. I think that's why we talk about the red zone. That's why we talk about the red zone. Just think about it. Some of those field goals and then we turned it over on downs twice. So we talking another what, 17 points? I'm sorry. We talking 18 points? 18 more points. That's why we talking about the red zone, but I understand what you're saying. We can't cry over spilled milk, especially after a victory. And it is victory Sunday. It's going to be victory Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday we can start talking about the Saints. But for right now, we're going to enjoy this win. Shout out to everybody in the building. Keep on putting the comments, and I'm trying to get to as many as possible. It ain't about me. It's about everybody sharing in this victory. Shout out to RHD. Teggy said, preach, dash, slide. Now, that's a fact. He got to slide. That's one. New York Giants fan, Forever 85 said, go get Tyreek Hill. He might be a target. We just ain't got the money. We just don't have we just don't got the money. There's going to be some restructures that are going to have to happen in order for us to get some money if we're trying to do something, make a move like that. For real. H-Town hitting on the fantastic point says Mara needs to fix that field. We've been saying it for years. We've been saying it for over a decade that field needs to change. You know how many bodies? MetLife is a serial killer. You know how many bodies MetLife has? How many knees? You know what? The Bone Collector. That's my new nickname for MetLife, the Bone Collector. We playing in the Bone Collector. Because all they do is catch bodies, man. All they do, he take knees, he take ankles, toes, all that. We need a new field for sure. We need grass for sure. Guess what? And I said this in the tweet too. You made $1 million, right? I'm sorry, you made $1 billion by selling off 10% of the New York Giants. How about you take that $1 billion, put some grass in it, and pay for the upkeep? That's what you can do. I understand you want to throw concerts and all these other events out there, but mainly that is a football field. Two teams occupy that field. It should be better grass. I don't care what anybody says. It's better grass until we build a new stadium. You know that's not happening for a while. Maybe if Dart brings the Super Bowl here, we'll get a new field or a new stadium. When is the lease up? I think, is the lease up in 2027? Or is there an opt-out for one of the teams in 2027? I don't know. Obviously, we won't opt out because the Meadowlands is ours. East Rutherford is ours. So we wouldn't be the team leaving, but we got to do something. Hold on. RHD says, how many top wide receivers are going to blow their knees before cheap-ass Mara and the Jets own to get there? Listen, okay, I talked about it for a little bit. We're going to leave it alone. H-Town says, bring in Ridley or Waddle. Waddle might be more affordable than Hill, I mean. Ridley, I don't think they get rid of Ridley. But he would be a good pickup, too. My man Mark said, of course I was there. Of course you. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to everybody. Listen. I know it might not mean anything in the big scheme of things, the New York Giants being 1-3, but it absolutely means a lot because of who we beat. This is not the Saints. And the crazy thing about this is, before this game, we were looking at the Saints game like, I don't know. We should be able to beat the Saints. No, we beat the Chargers. We beat the Chargers, and we actually we beat up the Chargers. We beat up Justin Herbert. Exactly what we talked about all week, what we talked about last night. To say the defensive line, it has to be a party at the quarterback. I tweeted that. I don't know if I tweeted that yesterday or this morning before the game, but I tweeted that it needs to be a party at the quarterback, and it was absolutely a party at the quarterback. All day long for 4 quarters. The Giants defense showed up for a complete game finally. And you saw what we were able to do with a complete game. Even though we did give up a couple of plays here and there. It is what it is, though. Shout out to, hold on. I already got to that one. Yeah, I already got to that one. Actually, I didn't. Mr. Mara, how about a grass field with the $2 super chat from my man Joe? Prince Castro, what's going on, Prince? He said, fee, fi, fo, fum. Banks is trashed. Banks is trash. Yeah, Banks got cooked a couple times. Prince Castro also says Dable's garbage. No imagination. Where's Hyatt? Hyatt actually played today, Prince. Now, as far as targets go, that's something else we need to talk about. But he actually was on the field and he played today. And guess what? Dable did what Dable does. He was a head coach today. He kind of he threw the challenge flag when he needed to. He called timeout when he needed to, and he let his coordinators do what they had to do. On that last timeout that he blew on that right before time ran out, right? He saw what Bowen was doing. He said, "Timeout. I don't like what you're doing. I don't like what you're doing there." And then when you saw them come back on the field, the defense was in a different formation, slightly different formation, only rushing 2, which made me mad. But again, and they got the completion. That's another thing. They got the completion, but time ran out on the Chargers. Time ran out on the Chargers because it would have been ugly. Well, I don't even want to think about it. Shout out to my man Big E with the $5 super chat. He says, big win today. Defense balled out. Dart and Scat played well. In the Wandell play in the end zone is why you need tall guys with good hands for Donnie. That's a fact. I'm in here where I don't got no water. I'm excited. Oh, man. Godson 4125 says, big win for the New York Giants on the way to making smart, tough, dependable a way of life, not just a slogan. Salute Big Dash, our YouTube MVP. Listen, I thank you for the love and support. Thank you for the love and support. I'm just a guy. I'm just a Giants fan out here talking to my Giants family. Thank you for the love and support. My man A Footlong with the $2 super chat. He says 2 W's in the 2 W's in the Dash House brings. Sorry, I got you now. 2 W's in the Dash House, which me and my wife are 2-0 today. He says bring Wells and Turbo up. That's a fact. Listen, they were able to survive with only 2 running backs. I thought it was a horrible idea not to bring up Turbo. They got away with it today. They did get away with it today. But again, let's not make a habit out of that. Well, hopefully Tyrone Tracy is good enough to go, but he's going to miss a couple of weeks. So maybe they got to make a move and bring up somebody. Shout out to Donald with the $10 super chat. He says, win's a win, but the red zone plan needs to change. That is a fact. Get the ball. Well, I was screaming all day, get the ball to Scatterable, get the ball to Scatterable. But when they gave the ball to Scatterable in the fourth quarter, they stuffed him every time. Every time. We got to be better out there. We got to be able to get that yard for sure. We got to be able to do that. RH Taker with the $4.99 super chat. He says, little nervous, Abdul, no pass rush moves, no hustle to him. Is it coaching? Now. I would be lying if I didn't yell at Abdul Carter a couple times today. Both times when the running back was able to get loose, it looked like it was a lack of hustle. He looked like his bend off the edge, his quickness, like he has all that. Chasing down people, I don't know if that's his strong suit or not. So I did yell at my TV a couple of times at Abdul Carter. You're not wrong about it. Sometimes it looked like once the play gets past him, he gets in a jog mode. But again, we're gonna leave that alone for right now because we're celebrating this dub. just for a little bit. Just for a little bit. Shout out to Die Hard Giant with the $9.99 super chat. He says, salute to you. My brother says, great win. Let's go, Big Blue. My only big problem is Catholic play calling. Can we just get some kind of better creativity down the field? I think you're gonna have. You know what? I'm glad you said that because it makes me think about this now. If Neighbors is out, right? Which, that's what the temperature in the room is right now. It forces this offense to get more creative. It's going to force Kafka to be more creative because the crutch of having Malik Neighbors and just throwing the ball, saying Malik Neighbors is down there somewhere, you're not going to be able to rely on that. So you're going to have to get more creative. And we'll see what happens against the Saints. If there's a game where you want to get creative, that'd be a good game to do it. And the Saints actually put up some points today for sure. For sure. Shout out to Prince Castro with the $2 super chat. He says Carter gave up on the corner on the long run. That's what I was just talking about. That's a fact. That's a fact. And then shout out to Jason with the $5 super chat. He says Dart is the man. I love the 4th down run. It showed what he will do for the team. Yeah, he's a competitor. He shows that he's a competitor. He also showed that his emotions get the best of him. Like his emotions do get the best of him. And again, his what's the word I'm looking for? I'll just keep it with emotions. The emotions get the best of him. He has to be smarter. You're not a running back. You're not a safety like your father or your little brother. You gotta slide. Protect those shoulders. Your money. Where's your money made? With your shoulders and your arm. Protect both of those, please, because every quarterback needs their shoulders. Not bugging. I'm not bugging. A Ransom said, got to trade. Yeah, something got to happen. Something got to happen. Junior Player says we need tight ends to get more involved. And again, please. Shout out to my man Stacy. Had a fantastic show on Wednesday on the Giants War Room. I'm definitely going to read what he has to say. He says, congratulations, my guy, on a humbling loss. I didn't give them much credit other than that on any given Sunday, the worst team can beat the best team, but they were even better today. Congrats. Now, I appreciate that, and that's a stand-up move. Shout out to Jersey. For those that don't know, even though this man is a Chargers fan, he is from Jersey, so show him some Jersey love. Show him some East Coast love for sure. Nah, man, I was nervous. I was not nervous the whole game, but this game had me on my feet for the most part, the whole game. I felt like as soon as Joe Alt went down that we could start exposing that offensive line. And we did get pressure with 4, and that's where the games come down to the trenches. You guys ran the ball better than I thought you were going to run the ball. Omarion Hampton is going to be the guy for you guys. And again, we just got to Justin Herbert. Again, even Tom Brady can fold under the pressure. But you guys had a chance all the way to the end. Big completion at the end. You just ran out of time. So salute to you. Thank you for the love and support. Thank you for hanging out with me on Wednesday, too. We're going to absolutely do it again. Thank you very much. Shout out to H-Town. Texas says the defense is the only reason this game was a victory because Dart, with only 111 yards passing, isn't going to cut it. Saints going to run us out of the building with that. Now, listen. Again, when you look at the stat sheet and you watch the game, I know H-Town, Tommy, you watch the game. The stat line does not tell the story of the game. Being able to extend drives, which Jackson Dart was able to do, get those first downs, put the team in a position, make those certain plays, be smart with the ball. That helped contribute to winning this game. But again, shout out to the defense for holding Justin Herbert and that powerful Chargers offense back. Shout out to the defense. Absolutely. Shout out to my man Keefe. Keefe says, yo, Dash, we got that dub. Chargers, hold that. And guess what? You got the bragging rights with your co-host. We talked about that on Sneaky G's show. Shout out to you. I'm happy for you. You got the bragging rights with your boy. That's a fact, man. Shout out to my man Keefe in the building. Listen. If you are not subscribed to On the Mic podcast, make sure you go ahead and do that. That's my man Keefe. He's one half. I believe you're one half of that show, right? Make sure you guys go ahead and support my man Keefe on the Mic podcast. Make sure I'm saying that correctly. On the Mic podcast, right? I believe so. Correct me if I'm wrong. Put it in the chat. Orlando with the $4.99 super chat. He says, good for Dable, good for Dart, sign Odell, Carter, Cook, but Dash, Jesus, these guys can't tackle out of the scrimmage or in the open field. Bowen did well. Owen called a good game. You know what made it easy for Bowen, though? He got pressure with 4. That's what it was all about. If you can get pressure with 4 and you can hang the rest of those guys back, whether it's man coverage or zone coverage, that's a recipe for a victory. So, listen, I'm going to cool out on Bowen for a week. He earned some grace. Or I should say, his players earned him some grace. And I'm going to leave him alone for the week. I will still, give some suggestions when I start talking about the Saints game, but it is what it is. It is what it is. And I think I got that one from Jason already. Hold on, let me get back to the comment section. Mickey X, what's going on, Mickey X? He says, let's get Ridardi. I understand that's the play on the Black Eyed Peas song, right? Let's get Ridardi, right? Something like that. I don't need to be singing. That's crazy. E-Max says, we ready. We ready. Nah, shout out to my man Chargers Talk too. He says, send my prayers to Malik Neighbors, speedy recovery. Nah, I appreciate that, man. Thank you again. Stand-up guy right there, man. Show him some love in the chat. Darnell Samuel says, stop asking about Hyde. He cannot run routes. Listen, we're not going to do that right now. I tell you what, though. I was praying for a Hyde touchdown at some point in this game. I saw that he was playing. I said, you know what would be fantastic right now? Not only the New York Giants scoring a touchdown, but also, Hyde being the guy that scored a touchdown. I said that in my selfish mind. I did say that to myself, but it is what it is. You guys know how I roll, man. You know how I roll. Oh man, Darnell D says MetLife is a gravy. Nah, that's that. It's the Bone Collector for real. It's the Bone Collector. Let me go ahead. I see it. I'm way behind. Let me go ahead and get all the way back to the beginning again. And I do apologize. The chat is real live right now. Real live right now. Efren says winning is contagious. Let's go. Real band 6 says Banks got a few red Marino plays after that cap. Yeah. Storm, we ain't talking about the Mets right now. It is what it is. We talking football, but he did say my Mets is super trash. Shaking my head. Well, let's go Knicks. That's a fact. Shout out to the Knicks, man. Let's go Knicks. Let's go Knicks. And listen, what time is this? 2:00. Kansas. Somebody give me an update on the Kansas City Baltimore game, please. Please. Prince Castro says Dable is Class C dirt, just falls apart. Listen. I don't mind a good jab thrown at Dable, especially after a loss. We gotta let it sit for a little bit. Pause. We gotta listen. I understand. I'm surprised I didn't see champion of the world show up yet. Heavyweight champion of the world ain't show up yet with the Wolves, but I understand. I'm right there with you. Can't do it after the victory though. Shout out to my man Prince Castro though. Phil, what's going on, Phil? How we doing, Phil? I know you feel fantastic, Phil. He says Wilson came in for 2 plays and confirmed Dable's decision. Now that's a fact. As soon as Wilson got in there and got sacked, they booed him. They booed him, and then Jackson Dart came in and got sacked. They didn't boo him. Like the fans understand what it is, man. They've moved on to Jackson Dart, and they don't want to see anybody else but Jackson Dart. It is what it is. It is what it is. Hey, is it Jesus Penton or Jesus Penton? Respectfully. Big Dash knows what he talking about. Let's go NYGs. That's a fact. Let's go Giants, man. Let's go Giants.
Big Dash knows what?
Big Dash knows what? Nah, TD Midas says Banks made a play on the final drive day. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He absolutely did. He absolutely did. He did. Big Tree 48 says Bo Collins will need to step up. No need to trade for anyone. We don't got no money to trade for anybody anyway, when we really think about it. We ain't got the bread to do it anyway. Somebody got to step up, but we got to figure out who that person's going to be. I don't know who's out there on the market that might come in on, for a minimal deal. But right now, the way that we're shopping hungry. So that means we're shopping on the practice squad. Everybody has to take a step up from here, and that's crazy. You're looking at Slayton has to move up from the 3 to the 2, or from the 2 to the 1. Wandell got to move up. Everybody got to move up. Everybody got to contribute. You know what helps though? Using the tight ends more. We saw the tight ends on the field a lot. There was a lot of 12 personnel out there today. We play a lot of 12 personnel. Sometimes we had 3 tight ends on the field. We got to use these guys in the passing game because you're not going to fill the shoes of Malik Neighbors with anybody that's currently on the roster. What you can do is try to diversify. Spread the ball around, and get more creative. Kafka. That's it. Because we ain't got the bread to go shopping. Dope Dez, shout out to Dope Dez, said Big Dash said, I'm going to tell the truth. I had Brian's key card not working Monday. I didn't believe. I do now. Listen. He's not completely off of the hot seat. Let that be known. We're not going to talk about that too much today. All he did was, instead of sitting directly on the hot seat, he was able to get up a little bit. Maybe they put a towel over the seat and he was able to sit on that. But he's not sitting directly on the hot seat after this victory. Again, it is the Chargers. It weighs a lot more. It's a home game. It weighs a lot more. And now we're looking at the Saints game like, okay, if we can get this Saints win, we're talking about 2-3, and the New York Giants are what? Alive before we get into the Philly game. And boy, oh boy, that Philly game. I think that first Philly game is a Thursday night game too. Shout out to my man Mark Thompson, because I know you're going to be in the building for that game. I think that's the Philly game you said you're going to be in the building for. It just got better. Dart does need to rest that hamstring up, though. So make sure he gets some stem treatment and all that stuff. Rest that hamstring up. H-Town says his defense is the only reason they got the win. Need to improve tremendously. Yeah. Shout out to the defense, though. Shout out to the defense. Let me get back down to the bottom. Yeah, how he played. That's a fact. He played a lot, too, today. Luann, you did say it. I said, I knew the Giants can win. Luann, you never wavered, Luann. That's one thing I can say about you. Stand up. You never wavered. You said it. You said it last night in the live. Absolutely. You never wavered. Shout out to Luann. Luann it will go down with the ship. Absolutely. Coach D said, don't feed the trolls. That's hilarious. Adrian says, a moment they said the Chargers kicker is the most accurate kicker in the league, and he hit a game winner last week. I said, of course he is. Thank God we didn't see that movie again. Now, that's the fact, man. That's a fact. Shout out to my man Eugene, too, man. Because he was saying the same thing. It was like, yo, man, we've seen this movie before. We know how it ends. Listen, I hate field goals, man. I hate losing the game on a field goal. I hate it. And we did it. We did get a little bit of deja vu in that first half, too. The last time we played the Chargers, remember, Justin Herbert, right before the end of the second quarter, touchdown pass. We saw it again today. And who was it on that play? That was Banks and that was Belton on that play for the touchdown to Quentin Johnston. I was like, oh, here we go. Deja vu. You can ask my wife. If I'm lying, I'm flying. I said, man, that's deja vu right there. That's deja vu right there. Orlando said third down conversions by Dart won this game. That's a fact. Moving the chains. Moving the chains won this game. That's a fact. So even though the stat line said 111 yards, if you did not watch this game, you probably didn't know, or you probably don't realize the impact that Jackson Dart had. There were moments in this game. Jackson Dart had real moments, and we also robbed him from a few moments because of some penalties. Like, in all honesty, that run that got called back for the JMS hold, that's probably a play that's on SportsCenter. It might still be on SportsCenter. Who still watches SportsCenter? Somebody watches SportsCenter. At least it would have been on Sunday Night Football, Chris Berman. That was a hell of a play. Too bad it got robbed and called back from him. But guess what? We got it on tape. We saw it. It's real. It's real. To that cornerback he ran over, it was real. To the safety he stiff-armed, it was real. It was real to me too. Ed Liz said, Dart. Phase 114 says, yo, Big Dash, we won. That's a fact. Phase also said Kafka needs to be looked at for real. Prince Castro said, I'm not satisfied with this win. Me neither. But you cannot be satisfied and still celebrate. It's still a victory at the end of the day. So, nobody, everybody, look, when you look, again, I'm going against what I just said. Obviously, the stat line doesn't tell the whole story, but when you look at the stat line, it leaves more to be desired. Definitely, Dart didn't really, challenge the ball down the field. It could have been some of the looks. It could have been, nobody being open. But again, there's still a lot left out there for this team, and I do think we'll be able to do that. There it is. Shout out to my man Keith. Keepy says, is this mic on sports? Thank you. I know I butchered the name a little bit. I said on the mic podcast. Is this mic on sports? There he goes, and that's the link too. Ed Liz says, at the Chargers fan, y'all play like, come on, Ed. Don't take the credit away from the Giants by saying that. You did say thank you though. You did say thank you. Cool Lee says 1G at a time. He says we will get better, believe it. 60 minutes, no excuses. Shout out! I can't wait to see Cop Pizzle's video because I know Cop Pizzle probably going off in his video. Shout out to Cop Pizzle again. For me, for those that don't know, I'm one of those Giants content creators that shows love across the board. Whether I agree with some of the content creators or I don't, one thing about me is I know that everybody wants the New York Giants to win. We might have different opinions on how to get there, but at the end of the day, it's Victory Sunday. Show love. Shout out to my man Cop Pizzle. I know his video gonna be live, man, and it's gonna be hilarious. Is this mic on sports? There it is. Larry Glaspie, he says, feel better as a fan with Dart in there. He said, I still have a problem with them running up the middle. I'm assuming you mean near the goal line. Near the what? You got cut off, Larry. In the red zone. Okay, yeah. They had issues. They had issues for sure. We got to be able to capitalize in the red zone. Again, 14 points not on the board. 14 points that should have been on the board when you're at your own 5. 14 more points. So imagine how much better that score looks with 14 more points on it. That's what was left out there, in my opinion. 14 more points, and actually 4 more points because one of those field goals should have been a touchdown. That field goal that we took after the Dexter Lawrence interception, and rumbling, tumbling, fumbling, dumbling, whatever he was doing, that should have been a touchdown too. And we ended up just taking the 3. So we're talking about 21 points. 21 points. It is what it is. Thank you for the update. 7-3 Baltimore. I definitely do want to watch that game. Tony Benino, he says the D showed up today. That's a fact, Tony. How we feeling, Tony? Tony, how we feeling, man? How we feeling? Oh, man, this victory feels so good, man. It feels so good to get a victory. First one of the season. Let's keep stacking W's on top of this, man. Let's get to 2-3 heading to Philadelphia. That's what I want to. That's what I want. I want to be 2-3 going to Philadelphia. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Obviously, respect your opponents. We got the Saints coming up next week. We got to go out to New Orleans, and we have not been that good in New Orleans. Let's go ahead and make a change. We got to figure out what we're going to do with Malik Neighbors being out now. Got to get more creative. Kafka, we're going to have to lean on Kafka to be more creative because we got to spread the ball around now. We can't just lean on Neighbors right now, so it is what it is. Meek, what's going on? Meek says, yo, Dash, we got the dub. What was the pros and cons of the dub? So for me, the pros were this. The defense finally showed up for 4 quarters. The defense got pressure with 4, and the secondary was able to hold up. We had some big plays from some backups. Muasau was not fantastic, but he made a couple good plays on 3rd down. Andrew Phillips showed up the whole game for the most part. Tay Banks was off and on. Javon Holland was out and came back. I thought it was going to be in trouble too. Holland got to step up just a little bit more. You're making a lot of money. I expect a little bit more from you than trying to strip a ball instead of taking somebody down. Make sure somebody's on the ground. We can punch at the ball at another time. But outside of that, on the offensive side, Dart showed that he was calm. Dart had control of his offense. He looked comfortable in the pocket. The offensive line gave him time to throw the ball and scan the field. We ran the ball successfully a bit, except for in the red zone. Cam Scatterbull is the truth. You need to use the tight ends more. But when you did use the tight ends, it was productive. First downs, touchdowns, stuff like that. When we get in the red zone, use your big targets. Thomas Fidone deserves a jersey. I think that covered the pros and the cons for the dub. Faye says sign OBJ for the veteran discount. That might happen. He wants to come back. We need a spot. That might happen. Now, it might all just be nostalgia because OBJ is not the OBJ that left here 7 years ago, but he's still a guy. He's still a guy that should be able to produce. He's still a guy that will demand a defense's attention, for sure. Tony Benino says Dart's first game, but Neighbors will be a kill. Nah, it's bad. But guess what? Neighbors went out early and were still able to push the ball down the field. We still were able to do some things. A lot of that was on the back of Jackson Dart. And again, he got robbed from a couple of big plays himself because of penalties. But the New York Giants won. And I am happy about that. No doubt in my mind. Footlong says, shout out to Drew Phillips with another pick, multiple pass breakups, and clutch tackles. Burns of Phillips MVP, Dart and KT honorable mentions. Yeah, and shout out to Dexter Lawrence as well today. We finally saw Dexter Lawrence. After 3 weeks, we finally saw Dexter Lawrence. You know what? Maybe the baby was keeping him up. The new baby was keeping him up. Maybe he slept downstairs last night. Made sure he got a full rest. No distractions. Full uninterrupted night of sleep. And you saw how he played with the bat down interception. Well, the batted interception, I should say. That's what's up. That's what all pros do. That's what defensive players of the year do. So hopefully, future defensive player of the year, Dexter Lawrence. When you make those kind of plays, I wish he was able to complete that and get the full pick 6. But I'll take it. And that's going to be a highlight reel too today. That's one of the highlights you'll see from the Giants is that Dexter Lawrence bat interception almost returned for 6. My man Word says, finally, guys, with the smiley face. Nah, that's a fact. Finally. TD Midas says, play Belly Moore. Please play Belly Moore. That's a fact. Thunder says, I think our players will step up. Hyatt made a few good blocks. He did. That's crazy. Somebody said earlier, Jalen Hyatt can't run routes. Guess what? He made some blocks today, though. He made some good blocks today too. That one Wan'Dale Robinson swing pass, that was a Jalen Hyatt block that freed him up to get that extra 6-7 yards. Good block by Jalen Hyatt. Hey, listen, if you're gonna be out there, you got to do something. You got to do something. Oh man, Cooley says Giant Nations, let's enjoy this win. Do better as a unit, all 60 and win. That's a 60-minute man. Shout out to my man, Cop Pistol. 60 minutes. Gotta play the whole 60 minutes. Footlong says Dart's presence altered the defense a lot. A lot of good fakes. Now I can't wait to go back and watch this game again. I'll probably do that after I watch the Baltimore Kansas City game, because I am gonna wrap this thing up and enjoy the rest of the day of football. Like, imagine that your team won, and now you can go watch the rest of these teams play, if that's what you do. Some people, as soon as the Giants are not playing, they just go ahead and get back to life. But for me, I go right back to football and watch whoever else is playing. And it feels even better to go back and watch these other teams play when your team also won. So make sure you get your last few comments in, and we're going to close this thing out, man. Again, I appreciate the love and support. 220 people in here. Make sure you hit that like button. It does more than you even know. Like, as a content creator, like you guys would be surprised how much just hitting the like button does for us at the end of the day. It really does truly help, especially with this YouTube algorithm. So please, shameless, please, hit that like button. Either on the way in or the way out, whatever. Quiz, what's going on, Quiz? He says we gave up 3 sacks, but the O-line was decent. G-Man, listen, some of those were coverage sacks. Like, I saw Jackson Dart have 4 or 5 seconds. Now, he ended up getting sacked, but our offensive line giving somebody 4 to 5 seconds? Are you kidding me? Who do they think they are? An NFL offensive line? I'll take more of that, please. Thank you. I'll take seconds. Please, sir. Can I have some more? Pause. Good offensive line play. I'll take it day in, day out. Luann says Giants have bad luck injuries on good play. Now, it's always been like that for the Giants. We got to overcome, though. We got to overcome, and they really need to do something about that field. Like, they really do. Like, there's no reason why we should not have a grass field. Like, no reason for it. I understand that you throw concerts and it's going to beat up the turf or beat up the grass. You make a lot of money, don't you? You make a lot of money selling tickets. You make a lot of money selling medium Pepsis. You can afford the expense of the upkeep it would take to change the field to grass. There's no excuse for it. The meadow, I keep on wanting to call it the Meadowlands. I'm going to call it the Meadowlands because that's what it is. The Meadowlands deserves to be grass. Period. Meek says Cam Scat is a good player, but the way he takes contact consistently, how will he play out in his career long term? I say this respectfully. The way that he plays football is not good for his life after football. He knows it. Everybody that watches him knows it, and he is okay with it. He said it himself. That style of aggressive football, the way that he runs angry, the way he runs with all of his might, he knows what it is. Let's see. Paul said we won the damn game, Big Dash. That's a fact. It feels good to say it, don't it? The New York Giants have a victory. The New York Giants beat the Chargers. The New York Giants won a game at home in September. Shout out to my man James in the building. Said Big Dash, salute to you, James. I missed the show this morning. Tim's show this morning. I was watching the Steelers game with my wife. I'm curious to see what Tim was talking about this morning, though. Shout out to Tim too, man. Shout out to my man James. Phase 140. Oh boy, he said the Mets. I'm happy we're here with the Giants family. Now, listen, I'm not a Mets fan, but I feel your pain. I can't relate. I feel your pain. The Yankees clinched. Man, I feel your pain. No, I really do. Danny, what's going on? Danny said, what up, brother? Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Nah, that's a fact, man. It's a victory Sunday. Tomorrow's going to be a victory Monday. Guess what? Everybody. I didn't get it. We're at the hour mark, right? Everybody that has been going to work Monday morning, trying to avoid their coworkers, trying to avoid the conversations about football because we've been losing. Guess what? You get to walk into the office tomorrow, head held high, chest poked out, with a smile on your face, because the New York Giants not only did we win, we beat a team that nobody had us beaten. We beat the Chargers. This ain't the Saints. We beat the Chargers. Yeah. Yep. Shout out to my man Danny. Chris Icy says my phone not ringing from the haters. Silence is golden, Big Dad. Now that's a fact. Keefe Keith says Jesse Minter outcoached Brian Dable, even though we got the win. I agree. I was about to nitpick that a little bit, saying he outcoached Kafka, but no, you're absolutely right. Corey Johnson says good, decent win today. Dart was good. Dex got a pick. Neighbors' injury was bad, but work still needs to be done. Absolutely, we're not satisfied. We're celebrating, but we're not satisfied for sure. Shout out to my man NYG man VA1. That's a hell of a name, man. He says, Dash, the O-line is so ass blocking for the run. Can't open a hole to save their lives. What you think about Bo at right tackle? Luminor take Van Rotten spot. Listen, Van Rotten got to go. And listen, man, he had a fantastic career. He's 30-something years old. Father Time has caught up to Van Roten. Father Time has. I think they might need to experiment a little bit. The funny thing is, with it being a contract year for Luminor, does he want to kick inside the guard? Or do you avoid that argument right now by kicking Bo into guard? That's a question that they have to answer at some point in time. But if the New York Giants are winning, I think they just keep on with the same old thing. But going into next year, for sure, they're going to have to make a decision. And if I'm the Giants right now, I'm extending Jermaine Illuminor. I'm not letting whatever the plan might be for Illuminor in 2026, whether we're going to move him to guard or maybe we put Bo at guard and keep him at right tackle, whatever, we need to extend Illuminor like right now. Like right now. For real. Coach D said Bo at center. A lot of people say Bo at center, man. Coach, man, you know what I keep saying. I don't want to waste his feet inside, but at center you have to be good with your feet. I don't know. I don't know. I would need to see it. I was absolutely against it. Like absolutely against it. I don't know if I'm absolutely against it now, but they got to figure it out. I don't think you experiment middle of the season, but again, they got a lot of things to do heading into 2026, and we'll get there when we get there. Coach D says Illuminor stays the right tackle. Don't break what works. That's and trust me, a couple of weeks ago, I was all about moving Illuminor and putting Bo at right tackle, but Illuminor is having a good season so far at right tackle. You know what I mean? And he going like if we keep on waiting, he's going to keep like the price. Yesterday's price is not today's price. His price is going to keep going up for Illuminor. That right tackle market, the tackle market in general, we talking some of these guys making $17, $18 million, $19 million. If you're really the top right tackle, you're making $20 million. I'm not trying to pay Illuminor that. I mean, if he earns it, he earns it. But I'm just saying, you get the deal done now, you might be able to save a little bit of money. And I'm all about saving the money because we still need to build this team. D-Dan, what's going on, D-Dan? He says, Dash, much needed W today. Let's build on that. That's the same thing I was saying. Let's stack W's. Let's start stacking some W's. Okay, 13-7 Chiefs. Okay, the score has moved. It was Baltimore before. What quarter is it? Is it still the first half? Let me know. It got to be the first half still. I ain't been here that long. JMS is a liability for sure. Listen, we're gonna enjoy this win and we're gonna evaluate a little bit later. But again, we already know what it is with JMS. We already know what it is. He, like I said, he's gonna get this year to prove whether or not they give him another shot next year, or they might move on with somebody else at center. But right now, I'll say this. Right now, the offensive line is good enough for the New York Giants to win. And again, we don't want to be satisfied with the word good enough, but offensive line gave the quarterback time, gave him a clean pocket for the most part. Again, this is the Chargers. And despite us struggling a bit, especially in the red zone, we were able to run the ball a bit. Some of those were scrambles from Dart, though. But there were some design runs as well that were successful. Especially the Dart touchdown, his first touchdown, our first touchdown of the game. D'Angelo says, "What up, Dash? Great win against a top team. A lot to clean up, but the future is bright." Listen, you know how much better it feels, or how much easier it is to receive that information or that comment after a win. The whole part of, a great win against a top team, a lot to clean up, but the future is bright. You know how much better it feels. Because guess what? If we would have lost, it would have been. We wasn't trying to hear that. we weren't trying to hear that. No moral victories, just regular. That's another thing. H-Town. Might have been Tyrone. It was either H-Town or Tyrone. A couple weeks ago. No moral victories. I think it might have been H-Town, or it might have been Tyrone. My bad if one of you guys said that though. No moral victories. Guess what? Only victories today. No moral victories today. Straight victories. That's it. Isaac Moore says Dart got beat up and dirty today like Charlie Brown. Now that's hilarious. Some people don't know what you're talking about. I do. H-Town says Dart was out there like a concrete worker under the sun. That's a fact. And you know what's crazy? Did you see the top of Scatterboo's jersey, the 44? Like, that's turf. How is this jersey that dirty? The Chargers had on white uniforms and white helmets. How was Scatterboo's jersey that dirty? From what? You would think they was actually playing on grass. I don't know, man. I don't know. Dart Vader, Tasmanian Cam are the future. Hopefully neighbors Thomas, Dex, Tibbs, Burns stay around. If the New York Giants are winning, they'll find a way to make Tibbs work long term. If you got Tibbs and Carter and Burns being able to put stuff together like this, it's fantastic. We saw Carter coming off the edge mainly, and he was absolutely effective. And then the way that they got all three of those guys on the field at the same time made the most sense. Instead of putting Carter inside, what did they do? They lined up Tibbs inside and put Carter on the outside of him. That's how you got that done. You didn't have to stand Carter up over the center and move Dexter Lawrence to the 3 technique. You didn't have to do that. What you did, all you had to do was swap out the way you played Tibbs and the way you played Carter, and you were able to get all 4 of those guys on the field at the same time, and it looked very, very good. That's how you got that consistent pressure with 4. You had Dex in there, you had Tibbs with his hand in the dirt, you had Carter right next to him, and Burns was on the other side, and you were able to get pressure with 4. It seems like it works. Shane Bowen, let's stick with that. Next week, we got Spencer Rattler and the Saints. There's no reason why it shouldn't look the same or even worse than what we did today against the Chargers. We should be able to get even more pressure against Spencer Rattler. No excuses. Danny Boy, what's going on, Danny Boy? Danny Boy said, just hate our coordinators. They need to go. Listen, you're not wrong. Listen, they had a good game. What's the saying? A broken clock is right twice a day, right? They got it right today. They need to build off of that to try to build the confidence of the fan base again. They dug themselves in that hole. But we got the dub today. I'm trying to find the comment that I can leave the live with, man. I'm trying to get back to watch this game. Isaac says, Dart taking a long shower. Pause. Listen, he taking a shower. He's already setting up his appointment to get that hamstring work on tomorrow. The stem machine, that's probably what's going to happen. Stem machine. Brown now says, Tim from Online Big Blue already blaming Dart for Leak's injury. Oh, because the short. He did. Yeah, he said it on the he said it in the tweet. He said it on the tweet. He said the throw was short, and that's what caused the injury. Leak having to slow down his momentum. Listen. I can't say that he's wrong. I hate that he's bringing it up and putting the blame on Dart. But again, I can't say that he's wrong either. It's going to be a lot of people that break down that play. I'm mad because it was a free play and it was short. Throw it in the end zone if you're going to throw it, man. That was the offsides. He took the shot downfield to Malik. And again, what happened, man. What happened. I'm going to blame the field ultimately at the end of the day. Hold on, where'd it go? Jada King, you said I skipped your comment. Hold on. Jada King, you do me a favor, copy and paste it. Because I'm trying to find it now. I got yelled at yesterday for missing somebody's comment. I got to do it. Okay, here we go. Jada King, let me know if this is the one. He said, at Big Dash, we haven't beat the Chargers since 1998. I think I let the win sink in. Now, that's a fact. Enjoy the win. At the end of the day, again, we have a lot to improve on. We have a lot to do. This was not a flawless victory. There's still work to be done, but we still got the dub. Listen, we were just begging for a W no matter how we got it just last night. Last night, we was begging for the W. We got the dub, and look at us already. The game ain't been over for 2 hours yet. The game ain't been over for 2 hours, and we already complaining about how we look. Listen, I understand. We're going to get to that. We got a whole week to talk about that. Everybody enjoy this victory, though. Enjoy this victory. That's the one, Jay. Thank you for the love and support, Jay. Thank you for the love and support. H-Town says, for a team to know the coach on the hot seat. Hold on, where'd it go? For the team to know the coach on the hot seat, they responded as if they wanted Dable to stay. Nah, I agree. They showed up. I think a lot of that had to do with just pride as well, man. You guys know what you're capable of. You're able to play better, and they did today. They did get some breaks, but also, the Chargers got some breaks as well. It is what it is. Jameis, what's going on? Jameis says, we may not see another win for a minute, so I'll be wearing blue and white to work all week and draping my Giants flag on my desk. Co-workers about to be super sick of me. A win is a win, and that's perfect right there. That was the one I was looking for. That was a comment that's good enough for me. Not even just good enough. That's a great comment to end this live on. Shout out to everybody. Make sure you enjoy this victory for at least 2 days. Give yourself to at least Tuesday morning to before you move on to the Saints, and hopefully everybody does that too, man. But with that being said, we're gonna close this thing out. Hold on, let me turn this music off for a second. All right. All jokes aside, though, man. All jokes aside, I see my man Jay said, "Go Big Blue." That's a fact. All jokes aside, the Giants finally got a victory. The Giants worked and deserved this victory. We were the more dominant team on the field today. The defense did what it was supposed to do, got pressure before, and made Shane Bowen's job a lot easier to call. Jackson Dart in his debut, even though the numbers don't say that he had a fantastic game, to me he had a fantastic debut as the new era for the New York Giants. We got to stack W's on top of this, and hopefully we get some good news about Malik Nabers. Hopefully it's not as bad as everybody, and I mean everybody, that everybody is saying, even though it does not look good right now. But with that being said, hold on, I got to do this one too. We snatched this W and ate it. Pause. I think that's the second time you said it too. But with that being said, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows Big Blue Nation. Let's go.